Hello, dear viewers, and you're mostly welcome to this episode of another week here on the International Sphere program. I'm your host, Agnes Tuniga, and today we are privileged to be joined by the Foreign Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt, who is on an official visit here in the country, Tanzania. And today we are privileged to talk to him on the diplomatic ties between the two countries. My guest, please welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for receiving me.
I'm glad to have you here on the set. And how have you found your visit here in Tanzania?
Well, it's a lovely country, and I'm extremely happy, pleased to be in this sisterly country in Tanzania. We have a very strong historical relationship back to the great leaders Nasser and Julius Nyerere, and that served as a solid foundation for working more and more for further deepening and enhancing our cooperation. We have strong political will from our two leaders, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of Egypt, and Her Excellency Dr. Samia Hassan, the President of Tanzania. We have directives from the two leaders to do more in order to enhance our cooperation based on win-win situation. You benefit and we benefit. Yes. It's extremely important visit, and I'm delighted to be here upon instruction from President Sisi to visit this great country and to meet with of top officials in order to talk about ways and means on how to enhance and develop our relationship in different sectors, in political consultations, in energy sector, in infrastructure, constructions, of course, pharmaceutical industries, agriculture industry, and also food processing. So I believe that we have mutual interest in order to explore the existing opportunities in Tanzania and also in Egypt to benefit from those opportunities. And I believe that sky is the limit. We have to work on that based on a win-win situation.
Mr. Foreign Minister, you have mentioned on the many areas that the two countries can cooperate. But to be precise, this time around, you are here in the country. What is the significance of your visit?
Well, it's a very important visit, and I'm delighted to be here and to be honored by having a meeting with Her Excellency the President, by meeting today with my brother, the Foreign Minister Mahmoud Thabit, and also my brother, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Energy. In the morning, we had a very, very important business forum where we gathered top Egyptian companies. I was accompanied by a delegation from the business community in Egypt, CEOs of the top Egyptian companies on the aforementioned sectors in order to inject more investment here in this country. So it's a very important visit in terms of many things. First of all, as I mentioned, to further deepening our trade volume and our investment cooperation. And I found today a great deal of interest from Tanzanian businessmen to come to Egypt to invest in Egypt, and also high interest from Egyptian business community. It was a big delegation, more than 20 top businessmen from Egypt. They came with me, and they had matchmaking with their counterparts. So it is a very significant visit in terms of exploring the business and trade opportunities to further strengthen our cooperation. Secondly, to prepare for the big event, the inauguration of the great dam of Julius Nyerere. Yeah. And as you know, we are proud in Egypt that an Egyptian consortium did participate in the construction of this flagship project, in this iconic project. His Excellency President Sisi is committed to come and to participate in the inauguration event with his sister, Her Excellency Dr. Mama Samia, and of course, that's another significance of my visit. The third one is, of course, to convene our fourth joint committee, because the last one was, you know, long time before. The third one was convened maybe more than 6-7 years ago. So we are here to agree on the date and timing for the fourth joint committee, and we have maybe more than 25 MOUs, and they are waiting for convening this joint committee in order to sign those MOUs and to start implementation. To cut the story short, it's important visit, and we have, of course, to explore the existing opportunities to unlock the potentialities we have in Tanzania and in Egypt, to bring this relationship into a higher level in order to meet and to match with the expectations of the great peoples of Tanzania and of Egypt, of course.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad, Mr. Foreign Minister, you've mentioned on the Great Dam, that is the dam of power energy here in Tanzania. Of course, we understand that your country has got the same, which has started some years back. Now, talking on the technological know-how that maybe your country has been providing to Tanzania, to what extent that now the inauguration is coming ahead, and later on after that, what will be your stance on helping out Tanzania to continue, you know, sustaining that dam?
Well, thank you so much for this important question, because it's indeed, it's a flagship project. It's a giant project, and we are very proud to participate in the modernization process led by Her Excellency President Samia here in our sisterly country, Tanzania. This is a testimony of our Africa solidarity, our South-South cooperation. We can help each other. We can benefit from each other. We can learn from each other without no need to go to the West or the North or whatever. We can help each other, and we have the technology and of course, above all, the technology transfer, which is of great importance. This is a successful model for cooperation between among African countries. In terms of, first of all, you know, to have, you know, providing jobs for local communities, that's very important. You know, the Egyptian consortium, they brought with them only very minimal and little numbers of engineers from Egypt. But the vast majority who have been working in the site, they are Tanzanians. So this is very, very important to benefit the...
engaging the locals.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, providing jobs for them. Number two, capacity building and technology transfer and sharing best practices. Because, you know, we will not stay here forever. It's your project, and you have to administer and manage your own project. That's why preparing for new cadre, new professionals, new workers, engineers to take over to operate your own dam. That's another important issue, because at the end, you know, we have to transfer everything to you. That's why the good news of the Egyptian consortium that they are going to build a technical school which will provide vocational training, technical education to the local community, and also providing, preparing your own generation, your own professionals to take care of the dam, operational of the dam, management of the dam. So it's a win-win situation. Not like other developmental projects or other business model where other countries bringing all personnel or labor from overseas and giving you the project without benefiting you, without benefiting the local community or transferring the know-how. This is not the case in our project because, you know, this is an Africa solidarity. This is South-South cooperation, and of course, transfer of know-how and technology and the expertise is an integral component of the project, in addition to the social solidarity and the social responsibility to build some social projects in the neighborhood in order to benefit the local community.
Thank you very much for that very good explanation, Mr. Foreign Minister. Now, talking of still on that question, that you have a slogan that I really love to even put it in the highlight that says, 2 nations, 1 dream. What is the interpretation here, Mr. Foreign Minister?
2 great nations with great history, with great civilization, Tanzania, of course, and Egypt. And one dream for development, for improving the standard of living of people. My sister, we unfortunately, we couldn't be able in Egypt and in Tanzania to catch with the first 3 phases of industrial revolutions. Now we have to work together in order to catch with the 4th revolution of industrial process. So that's why we have one dream, how to work together, how to rely on each other, how to support each other within our beloved African continent in order to support each other and again to share know-how, to share social responsibilities, and to help each other in order to overcome poverty and ignorance in the whole African continent. And we can do it. No need to go to other parties outside the continent. We can help each other. So we have one dream, 2, of course, to look to the future and to develop our countries and, of course, to develop our nations in order to be among, you know, the most developed countries in the world.
Prior to our discussion here, you mentioned that you have been able to meet with the foreign minister here in Tanzania. What was the discussion there? Because I understand, of course, we have been collaborating or engaging ourselves between the 2 countries on economic and trade altogether, collaboration, of course. Now, what was the agenda there and what is the way forward?
Well, we have discussed 3 main issues in our agenda. First pillar was designated to our bilateral. How to, of course, increase our trade volume based, and this is the most important principle, based on win-win situation. It should go the 2 ways. So we spoke about trade and about investment, of course. And also we spoke about technical assistance and capacity building. So with regard to the first pillar, the bilateral, as I mentioned, trade, investment, and capacity building and training. As for trade volume, it's still modest, and we have to do more. We have to unlock the opportunities and the potentialities we have. So, for instance, in Egypt, we created a new agency. We call it the Egyptian Agency for Export and Investment Guarantees. That could be a game changer in increasing our trade volume with Tanzania, because this agency was designed mainly to encourage SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, in order to take risk, you know, and to engage in trade and investment projects with African countries without having any problem, and to be guaranteed by the government and the Central Bank of Egypt. The big companies, as you know, they know their way, they have no problem. But the SMEs, you know, they are a bit hesitant. So we are encouraging them through this mechanism in order to move forward. This is for trade, and today We had big delegation from Egypt. They've been talking about, instead of importing, coffee or tea from Sri Lanka or Indonesia or other countries, we have our beloved countries here in Africa, like Tanzania. Of course, you are an excellent producer of the best coffee, the best tea, and also other products. So we can work together, and of course, what we need is, of course, having maritime lines to connect our ports. That's very, very important because transportation is extremely important. We are planning now to have our own logistical zone here, very close to Dar es Salaam. And that would be important because it will showcasing, what we have in Egypt and what we can get from you. And it's close to the port. So with having a new maritime line, direct line, connecting Dar es Salaam port with Safaga or Alexandria port in Egypt, then we can have a regular maritime line, and that will accelerate and increase trade volume.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, let me take you back because I need to understand this concerning the Egyptian export and guarantee mechanism that you have mentioned. Ever since it has been implemented or it has started being in the pipeline to work now and on the ground, in your own opinion, Mr. Foreign Minister, to what extent do you think now it's creating success stories?
Well, we start recently, to make this agency operational on the ground. And we are starting with two small dams, one in Uganda and one in DRC. And I'm here, I offered, our readiness to, to build a smaller dam here in Tanzania, or to support the developmental project. Healthcare is a very important sector, and we would like to have, to develop, part of a hospital, a public hospital here. We can take one department like heart surgery or whatever. We are strong in kidney transplant, or liver transplant, or open heart surgeries. Eye diseases, we are very strong as well. We are happy, first of all, to send a medical convoy as soon as possible to treat people for free, of course.
As soon as possible. When is that expected to be here?
Yesterday. Yeah. We need just to be to tell us. We cannot impose in you, to tell us which areas, which sectors, and we agreed today on specific areas, and we will move forward. We are ready because the fund is there in Egypt, and we can work together for the benefits of our two people.
Now, talking on the common challenges that are existing around the world, especially the issue of terrorism, to what extent now your country working together with Tanzania to make sure that it fosters that ahead and make sure that we now in a safe place?
Yes, sister, we are sharing the same view, the same objectives with Tanzania about the danger of the spread out of terrorism. And we are sharing the same views on how to counter terrorism. Because if you are focusing only on security aspects, that is not sufficient. So we had long discussions today with the Tanzanian foreign minister about the importance of applying holistic approach in dealing with terrorism. Terrorism is a global phenomenon. It's a transboundary one. No single country can fight terrorism alone. We have to work together. And holistic approach means that there are 4 pillars for fighting terrorism. One is security, which is important but not enough. Second one, how to cut funds from terrorist organizations. Third pillar is, of course, to address the root causes by addressing the socio-economic development. We have to create jobs if we are serious about preventing recruitment of by terrorist organizations of young men and women. The main safety net is to provide jobs for them to address the root causes and to deal with the socio-economic issues by creating jobs. The fourth element, and I believe the most important one, is, fighting extremist ideology. This is the most important one.
Being here in the country during this visit that you have conducted here in the country, you also need to, you have been exploring some different areas of cooperation. Apart from what Tanzania and Egypt has been cooperating throughout the time, what are other areas that you think, Mr. Foreign Minister, that you, in the future now, you might work together with Tanzania?
Of course, we would like to work with Tanzania in making the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement operational. This is the most important project for our continent, to remove all obstacles and to have more freedom of movement of goods. And so Tanzania is a very important country in the Eastern Africa region, like Egypt in North Africa. So we are working, and we will work together, and we will continue to working together in order to make this FTA operation. This is one. Number two, how to reinvigorate the African Union, and of course making the African Union Commission more efficient and of course more operational, and how to fight deficiencies within the African Union Commission. This is very, very important, and of course we have to work together in order to fight illegal migration and to fight terrorism, as I mentioned before. Yes. So the two countries are two important countries in Africa, and we are sharing the same responsibilities to implement the Agenda 2063. And this is very important for the sustainable development in Africa, and for creating more jobs and improving the standard of living of Africa people, because our continent deserves better and of course to be in a better situation.
Mr. Foreign Minister, I thank you very much for your time, but before we wind up, I'm giving you this opportunity to talk to Tanzanians, and your last message now to them. What should they expect from the diplomatic ties that we share together?
Well, first of all, we love you. We love Tanzania. We love the Tanzanian people, of course, and we are working together. And I believe that you will see specific and concrete deliverables out of this partnership between the great countries of Egypt and Tanzania. We can work together. We can share our own expertise, our best practices, in order to improve the standard of living of the two peoples, and also create more jobs. So expect more in the near future, especially with regard designing real partnerships between the two countries based on win-win situation. You benefit and we benefit. We will encourage more private sector to invest in this great country in order to create more jobs. My colleague, the foreign minister today, said that we are creating more than 4,000 jobs here in Tanzania. We need to do more. We need to create at least 10,000 jobs through Egyptian investors and the Egyptian investment here. We need also to expand our trade volume. We need the Egyptian market is huge. We have 120 million people in Egypt, 110 Egyptians and 10 million refugees living in Egypt. So it's a huge market, and it's open for Tanzanian products, and the same Egyptian products are very competitive, and accessibility to Tanzanian market is important for the two countries. So expect more and more to come, especially through logistical cooperation and also connecting our ports together and having maritime regular lines, and that will be a game changer in increasing our trade volume and also increasing Egyptian investment in Tanzania and Tanzanian investment in Egypt.
Mr. Foreign Minister, I do thank you very much for your time talking to us here on TBC, the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you very much. Well, dear viewers, you have heard that was the Foreign Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt, His Excellency Dr. Badri Abdelati, and he has paid a visit, which is an official visit here in Tanzania, and of course you have heard him saying that Tanzania and Egypt will continue having a win-win situation kind of a relationship within the diplomatic ties. From me, your host, Agnes Tuniga, I thank you very much for being with us, and thank you very much for your company.